What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is your NXT / TNA / AAA / Evolve Gold Rush preview, and that is Jake fucking DeMARCO. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, buddy, oh, pal. I am on some cloud. It's not 9, but I am flying high because it has been not just a week, not just a night, but it seems like the month of just really, really good wrestling so far. And I like most of the stories, like War Games. I kind of tore into briefly the other day, just recapping quick, to be like how they're getting the groups together. I'm not a huge fan of, the random pairing of Nia with Lash. They're suddenly best of friends. All right. I hate that Nia's back involved. And then, oh, look, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk's best friend. You know what I mean? But it's supposed to supposedly be adding some more superstars like Cena and possibly Roman Reigns, with Lesnar and Austin Theory filling out the other side.
I think it's going to be Jimmy instead of Roman because, take the dirt sheets for what you want, but apparently they don't want to put Cody and Roman on the same screen together until they're prepared to do that match again, because they think they're teasing the crowd with something that they might want again.
I heard that as well.
I kind of think the opposite, because I'm done seeing them as a rivalry.
That's exactly how I feel. I would want LA Knight to replace him then, if anybody. He fits in with all the problems he's had with the Vision and
LA Knight. I don't know. I like LA Knight, but every time they try to put him into something, not necessarily a world title picture, but something important, like when they talk about the John Cena tournament, when they talk about War Games, when they talk about, I always find myself saying, oh yeah, that would be really cool. Like, I'd really be happy for LA Knight. But it's like, I'd be happy for him. Like, me personally, I'll think of like 3 or 4 other people that I would rather slot in there, which is shitty because I'm not dunking on the guy, but it's like, he's good. He's there. It's like, I'll always stand up for the Miz, but I don't think the Miz should be in line for Cody's title. Like, it's one of those with LA Knight. I don't know. Like, I'm enjoying him, but I'm enjoying him where he is. Kind of like in a different way. But Drew McIntyre is the guy that, is angry because he's always cut off at every turn, and that character really works for him. You know what will kill that character? Him getting what he wants.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, like, what has me going, because I want to say a very quick piece on TNA, but I was kind of going to say the opposite of you, whereas NXT always, because we're able to look at NXT in such a fun way, it's always kind of light. Like, you're going to get some awesome stuff, but it never takes itself too seriously, so it never really has the chance to let you down. So I go into every NXT show, even the pay-per-views that we expect to be actually good, I go into them thinking, we're going to have a good time, which makes it a very easy watch, where it's the only brand right now that I'm consistently excited about. AEW is what it is. I'm not going to dunk on AEW tonight. I don't have the energy. But like AEW, we all know what I think of AEW. There's a couple people there that I like. They're doing their discount War Games tonight, and we're doing this instead. What does that tell you? But they're doing that. They've got a couple people that I like. WWE, to be fair, they've got War Games coming up. And I look at War Games as, I know I'm going to love it on the night. So everything else to get there just feels like, I really wish we were on the night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already ready to be there. And that's not to say that they're giving us bad stuff, but like, you don't need to give me any more. I'm already in. And NXT just, it is exactly what it needs to be for me every week. Whereas you get an awesome Monday Night Raw, like we had this Monday, in my opinion, like with the Dominic and John Cena stuff, the new champions, the announcement of the War Games teams as such as they are, and then you get SmackDown, which everybody other than me seems to be hating recently.
I've not been a hater, but the one thing I do disagree with, and this is not the time nor the place, but Cody was actually very upset with you over you saying the MFTs are awesome.
The MFTs are awesome because they tried to take them seriously. It didn't work. They turned tail immediately, and they've made them hilarious now. And the thing is, and I'm not directing this at Cody specifically. Cody, all the respect, he was on our last pod. There is a certain contingent out there that thinks once something's gone goofy, it's not good anymore. And those are the same people that are upset when R-Truth gets fired.
Yeah.
So there's a little, I think there's an inbuilt in that sort of section.
I don't think it's that because they've gone goofy. I think because even to me, it still at times seems like they're not fully intended to be goofy. They're like, we're supposed to take them serious still in certain iterations, but like the panda face paint, the growling.
I think the more seriously they take themselves, the more funny it is for me. And I think that there's a level on which that works. No, not everybody's going to agree with me on that.
Okay,
now,
so for you, I've mentioned for us, it's been a slog. I have struggled to be entertained at all because Solo is such a loser in my mind.
The other thing as well is they're a mid card act, right? Like the leader of the group, his last title was the U.S. championship, right?
Yeah,
and that title's gone up since he lost it, right? The problem is people are going to look at it because it's sort of like Bloodline, like 3.0. The Bloodline was the entire pumping heart of WWE for like 5 years.
Yes.
So this branch of it not being a main event concern makes it feel like a failure or a demotion or whatever. But the whole point of that is they're not trying to be a main event concern. They're existing in the mid card.
Yeah.
And they're like making strides in the mid card. They're going to feud with the Wyatt Six. And the people that pretend the Wyatt Six isn't awesome are going to pretend that that's not great either. But I don't like, people are saying like this really, really, really well done steak really sucks at being an apple. Like, what are we doing here?
To the Wyatt Six, I've liked the presentation when they come to the ring and how they wrestle, their style. The only thing
I like them
really
as a collection of wrestlers now.
I like as well.
I like the spooky shit. People that have been watching
do too, but there's no story at all with them.
That's fine.
That's fine. But they teased, oh, we're going to give you with the VHS tapes why we're together. Okay, we're together because of a common bond of all losing family. Great. And then they're going to expound on it and then nothing.
Keep in mind in real life what they're dealing with IRS at the moment. Maybe they don't exactly want to be bringing that element to TV at the moment, which I could 100% understand. And also the big driving force of that particular story was Bo Dallas, who has been off TV because of what's going on in his real life. So I think that part of it being missing and them, like, you don't like a video package saying where somebody came from before they debut, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't make your debut every week.
No.
Does that make sense?
No, I get that. I think it's just because he's even when he was around still, for the few months before that, they still weren't doing anything with them hardly at all. They would have them do mini micro feuds, but nothing of note. Now they get the tag titles and it feels like, a Spartan church that no one wants to acknowledge.
And that's fine. I'll take, I don't necessarily agree, but I'll take that because I can see where people are getting that idea. The little other bit of it that I do like, because the tag team is Gacy and Dexter. And, the leader was Bo and he's off doing other things right now. I think it's kind of cool. If you see them in their backstage segments, it's really Eric Rowan that's keeping everybody together and sort of giving them direction. So that's kind of a cool role for him in the absence of Bo. Anyways, getting back to my initial point, NXT is kind of always exciting. AEW is what it is. WWE, I'm waiting for the next pay-per-view, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Which brings us to TNA. Now, I have some good news for TNA. I've got some bad news for TNA, and I'm going to do the bad news first. I've got some ups and downs for the Simon Miller fans out there. We've been tooting TNA's horn for the last little while. They've been getting better. Their audiences are getting progressively larger. They're getting a little bit more exposure, yes, through the NXT partnership and whatnot. I can't abide, even though, how can I say this? We shouldn't be doing this preview tonight. We should be doing this preview sometime this weekend, and we should be doing a different preview tonight.
Yes. We
can't, because in 2 days, they have a pay-per-view coming up, and it's Turning Point.
Yep. Because they got tag
which totally
separately.
Totally, the people that hate Charlie Kirk and celebrate assassinations because they're terrible people want NXT or want TNA to change the name of their pay-per-view because it's the same as the name of his organization, because they're fucked up. And if you celebrate death, you're a bad person.
Jesus.
Yeah. But like, these are horrible people that celebrate death.
Yes.
But what I will say,
I digress.
What I will say, they have a live Impact tomorrow night at Full Sail, which is also where Turning Point is.
Yes.
2 days out from Turning Point, up until this morning, I will say there's an exception because there was an announcement made this morning. Up until this morning, 2 days away from a pay-per-view, there was nothing on this card.
Not a single match to be found.
Now, it's a Friday show. It's the TNA B shows. It's the TNA Plus specials. I get it. And if this is a one-off, and like I say, they're doing the live Impact at Full Sail, which is different than a taped show, and they're flipping it right the next night to the pay-per-view. So if they're going to do this one-off of, oh my God, you got to tune in when Impact is live, we're going to throw you an entire pay-per-view card in 24 hours. If they do it once, fine, cool, nice little experiment. If it turns out to be really awesome, I'll give them the shirt off my back.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
I think they're doing it intentionally because of how it was set up with their travel. So knowing that they don't have a few taped episodes in the can to work with and they had to do things a bit more live, I think that also was a detriment to their long-term booking style, whatever you want to say, the planning ahead.
Yeah.
So
I think doing like whenever you want to space it out, because some of their episodes are live, some of them are not. It's where they are in their production life currently in 2025, right? It's fine. We understand it. I think if you're going to have one live episode a month, make it the episode before the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So that there's no last minute, whatever. Back-to-back nights at Full Sail, we're NXT guys. That's always going to be a cool thing. But going in, and especially people like you and me who are really trying to boost TNA and saying, hey, for the 100 millionth time, why don't you guys give TNA one more chance?
Yeah.
You're not giving us anything to put out there. Now, they did announce one match. There's a tag match that tells me there's no international match and there's no TNA title match because it's Steve Macklin teaming up with Mike Santana to take on Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, that was
it'll be a fun match.
Earlier.
It'll be a fun match, but it tells you two title matches that are definitely not happening on Friday. And it's Friday, and you're going up against SmackDown. Give me something to tell the audience to say, hey, come watch TNA with us. But they're not exactly doing that. So we don't have a Turning Point preview. That's the Turning Point preview. There's one match announced. I think it's going to be fine. And nothing's really going to come of it. If something fantastical happens at the pay-per-view, we'll surely come up and talk about it. But the fact that they're going to build the show in 24 hours doesn't give me very much hope.
No, not at all. Sadly, it's not instilling much but fear.
A slight little side note, what does give me a little bit of hope is they just signed Hardcore Channing Decker, who I first saw at Destiny. Check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine. Hey. Not only that, him having a hardcore match was the very first time I ever saw Moose live.
Yeah.
And Moose is big. Let me just say that.
Big man.
But no, Channing Decker's awesome. Really cool guy. Really takes a lot of time to talk to the fans and whatnot, especially when he's in like a smaller venue like Destiny, like at the Don Koloff and whatever. Also runs Greektown Wrestling in Toronto, which I've been to a show or two of theirs as well. So the guy knows his way around. I think he's still a tag team champion somewhere with Tommy Dreamer.
One thing I always hear is how humble he is. Like he's
a really nice guy,
approachable and down to earth. So
he's a really, like when I first started going to indie shows, and by indie shows I just mean Destiny because it happens to be 20 minutes away. And I started like, it's a big difference than like going to a WWE show because you actually get to like sit and talk with wrestlers and whatnot. And I saw Decker a couple of times. And, I enjoyed him. So I was like, tweeting and whatever. Oh, we should throw him up against, I think Pete Dunne was still their champion at the time. Throw him up against Pete Dunne. And then the title went over to Josh Alexander. Yeah. I think it bounced to Alexander, to Aiden Prince, and a couple of, he got a shot. And a couple shows later, I seen him again and, nice and making chit chat and whatever. And he's the guy. I think I've told this story before. It's like, hey, I told them they were going to give you a title shot eventually. He's like, you're the Phoenix guy. I'm like, awesome, cool. Yeah. We're not going to get that in a WWE show.
No, fantastic. Exactly. And the
only two people that have ever done that to me, the only two people that have ever said, "Oh, you must be so and so," Channing Decker, Simon Miller.
See, 2 for 2.
Absolutely meet your heroes. It's fine.
Absolutely
also, go
people.
Check out some of Simon Miller's shorts at the moment. They're fantastic.
Hilarious.
Now, so I've given you some bad news about TNA.
Yeah.
Just this, I mean, potentially bad news with them not really promoting their show for this Friday. Now, what if I told you some amazing news for TNA? What if I told you TNA was getting ridiculously high praise from a very, very well-known Canadian wrestler? What if I told you they were getting very, very high praise from a certain high-profile Canadian wrestler who's a multi-time former WWE World Champion.
Okay.
What if I told you they were getting super, super high praise from a very, very high profile Canadian wrestler who's a multiple time WWE World Champion and was the first ever AEW World Champion?
Oh. Wow. So I was funny enough. I was going to be like, we're not going to get to the story. So I'm going to play what my co-host does. And when you go to start the next topic, I'm going to go, au contraire. You cannot move on. You did not tell me the Jericho story. And then here we are.
Yes, I can.
With a surprise.
Okay, but here's the language of this.
Wow. That was him that I purposely avoided that news at all costs so I could go ahead and see what you had to say.
He's praising TNA, which is fine. Jericho knows what's going on. He runs his own little dirt sheet on the side. That's mostly propaganda, but whatever. Don't worry about it. But see if you can pick out the key phrasing here.
Absolutely. But before you even say that, my immediate thought to this is people are like, oh, it's just TNA. The thing is, he's complimenting WWE vicariously through TNA. And the reason he's doing that is because if he tweets at WWE, he's still under AEW contract till the year is over. So this way he's covered because WWE doesn't own TNA. They have a working relationship. But him complimenting them compliments NXT and WWE by proxy.
Well, I mean, WWE owns AAA now, and there's people in AEW that are former AAA champions like Tay Mello and Sammy Guevara.
Yes.
But I want you to, because I read this and I smiled and then I smiled big. And I want you to tell me when you think I smiled big. Here's the quote. Pulling this from No DQ, and he spoke with Team 3D and the Hardys. And at one point, Jericho stated the following while talking about TNA Bound for Glory 2025. The crowd looked huge. It just looked huge. It was a WWE level crowd. The place was packed. No. I'm not even there yet.
I know, but
the place was packed. I'm watching this, and I don't want to say anything out of school, but comparing it to watching AEW at the ECW arena, which looked like a Tony Condello taping. I'm sorry, it did, but TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world, and that's amazing. The presentation was amazing. I mean, it looked like a WrestleMania. It really did.
Wow.
Yeah, Jericho's done in AEW.
Yeah. Wow. So
when I got to the second biggest company.
Is in like the Tony Condello? He's the one that was.
It says in brackets, promoter of the International Wrestling Alliance in Manitoba, Canada. When they did it in the ECW arena, which looked like a Tony Condello taping, I'm sorry, but it did. TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world. I just want to let that simmer and sit with everybody.
Yeah,
just let it simmer and sit with everybody for a second, because I knew I was going to be podcasting today, and I knew we had Gold Rush to talk about, which we do have to talk about still. But it's
ESPN and Sports Illustrated are talking about this right now. Chris Jericho makes daring claim about wrestling's second biggest company. And the way that he puts over, because that was a big thing for them with the attendance, almost 8,000. It was a North American attendance record for TNA. That's amazing. I'm so happy for them.
The specific tapings that he's talking about at the ECW arena, which is a small venue, let's be real for a second, but they had a residency there, which meant they were very consistently happy with less than 100 people, with less than 1,000 people.
Yeah. And they didn't.
I don't want to say 100 people. People are going to be, Spaz is spreading propaganda. I'm like, okay, I misspoke. Sue me. It's fine.
Be careful about that.
Come in, Sydney Sweeney me. I'm ready.
Wow, what a line!
Anyway.
It was like a WWE level.
I want to read the whole. I want to read the whole thing again. The crowd looked huge. It looked huge. It was a WWE level crowd. The place was packed. I was watching this. I don't want to say anything out of school, but comparing watching Dynamite in the ECW arena, which looked like a Tony Condello taping. I'm sorry, but it did. TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world, and that was amazing. The presentation was amazing. I mean, it looked like a WrestleMania. It really did.
Wow. I mean, him offering praise, and he praised WWE still indirectly in that, but by not just by proxy, but by also the it looks like a WWE level, like making him the bar to be set by.
I need to quote somebody else here for a second, right? I need to pull a Becky Lynch here for a second. It's not just me saying it. Jake's saying it. ESPN is saying it. Chris Jericho is saying it.
Everybody is. He says right here, talking to Tony Khan, he said he's been busy doing a lot of things. Speaking of somebody really busy with projects, including filming and music, and somebody we have a ton of respect for. Chris Jericho is somebody we'd love to see anytime in AEW. That's what Tony Khan said, right? But Jericho says that's not the truth. I've been available. They've not used me. So this is going to be a fun back and forth discourse.
This is Chris Jericho's equivalent of when Ray Phoenix put the picture of him in the straitjacket on Twitter.
Yes.
This is fucking awesome. Anyways, to the business at hand. We got Gold Rush. Number one, I'm going to say it. Even ESPN is saying it. This should be a pay-per-view.
Yeah, this should be a special
promotion.
PLE.
With promotion, they could throw this in MSG, not the theater at MSG.
Oh yeah. And
that's a minor thing. But
that's my one gripe is the second part is taped, and I get why, but you should have just had them be separate weeks then. Maybe they couldn't do it logistically or something, but
I think they could only get the booking for the 1 week. I will say, as a fair criticism, week 2 is Collision, and week one is Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it's so way disparagingly different because you got Evolve's championship on the second night.
Okay, to be fair though, like they wanted to say that we're doing TNA, AAA, NXT, and Evolve.
Yes.
So I don't think shoving the TNA match and the 2 Evolve matches to night 2 to the taped show is a great look. I'm not gonna lie, but they had to do what they had to do. And I'm sorry, the 4 that are on week 1 have more story to them.
Yes, and
they just do.
On a slightly unrelated note, but I did want to bring this up before we get into all the predictions.
Yes.
CMLL in beautiful Mexico at Arena Mexico, CDMX, they're doing the Linkin Park official merch limited edition drop and collaboration. Linkin Park will be performing live there at the show, and they have Team Lincoln versus Team Park in the main event. So
what?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of cool, but still, is this like a co-branded thing with AEW, or is this just CMLL doing CMLL stuff?
Just CMLL doing CMLL stuff.
Okay,
and
well then I might actually have to give it some credit then.
Right? It looks very funny, but like in the best way possible, because
Team Lincoln versus Team Park is jokes.
Yes, on your Twitter, you have to check it out. I tagged you in it, but it is hilarious.
They just got nominated for 2 Grammys, and all the right people are upset about it. But I'm going to kind of do this backwards. I'm going to go week 2 first because there's not much to say about a lot of the matches. Start with Jackson Drake and Shawn Legacy. I haven't watched a bit of Evolved. I know that Jackson Drake is part of the swipe right guys.
Yeah.
The selfie guys, whatever. And Shawn Legacy's like super happy, positive, like Joe Hendry 2.0-ish guy. I think the champion retains because he's got backup. Other than that, I don't know what to say. Do you have anything to say about this?
I wish. God, I mean, no.
Okay, blind guess then.
Yeah. Who'd you end up siding with here?
I said Jackson Drake only because he's got backup and he's a heel. And
that's what I thought. So Shawn Legacy.
You want to take the happy win?
No, I'm gonna take Shawn Legacy because he probably will lose. Drake has that faction, like you said. What is it? Too hot, swipe right, whatever the hell. There's too many of them.
Swipe right is the tag team. I don't know what. There's another name for the 3 of them, and I'm not going to pretend to know.
Yeah,
like that's what we're doing here.
I did know it at one point, and I forget what they've got him, involved in now. But the Vanity Project.
Ah, yes. Because they do the weird V thing.
Just came to me because they do the V. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Sean Legacy. I've enjoyed every time he's been on NXT TV. It was just a matter of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Evolve is a thing. I like that it exists. I like that there's, hey, if you really, really want to watch some extra wrestling, it's there, but they don't pretend like you're missing something.
Yeah.
Very similar to the conversation that you and I and Cody had about people missing Stephanie in NXT, and not at all debating that. But
no, but that's the truth, because people miss that, and then they say, well, why are they so good now? Well, they've shown you just didn't get to see it. That's the
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say two things about the Evolve Women's Championship match, because there's two separate points I want to make. A, there's a lot more story with the Women's Evolve Championship. B, actually, there's three things I want to say. B, it's the beginning of everybody in Fatal Influence is going for a title at Gold Rush, which is awesome. C, look at this total card. Like, treat it like it's one card. There's only 8 matches. 6 of them, if you'll allow me to call the AAA Mixed Tag Championship a Women's Championship.
Yes.
6 of the 8 matches on this card are Women's Championship matches.
Yeah.
And the fact that at the drop of a dime, they could bring the Kabuki Warriors down and have a women's tag title, and you could have 7.
And I mean, you think too, because like Ethan Page teaming with Chelsea for the mixed tag title against the Hendry duo.
Yeah,
that's the title crux
right
counts there. Yeah, so it
still counts.
It absolutely counts, but that title is tied up there, so the North American title is not defended, and then
North American title is being defended. Oh, the men's North American. Oh, okay. Sorry. I see what you mean.
All right. I was like, where? Yeah, because Ethan Page is in the match, and he's just not able to wrestle twice apparently. So
now I like what they've done with Kendall Gray. They've done a better job introducing Kendall Gray to the NXT audience, because she's got this whole story with Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair is trying to rebuild the NQCC in Charlie Dempsey's absence, because I believe Charlie Dempsey's still over in Japan.
Yeah, he's in
very,
Noah.
very awesome. He's in Noah, where Hank and Tank are the Noah tag team champions now,
and apparently extremely over. So
they're fun. Of course they're over. They're like, what's the team in AEW that's sort of like that? They're like the retro guys. If you're anything like me, and I know I am,
the Outrunners.
There we go.
Jake Floyd, it's one of those Turbo teams, Magnum, or whatever.
Something. They're both named after condoms. It's fine. But Kendall Gray hooking up with Ren Sinclair, Lainey Reed being the newest member of Fatal Influence, which when they kind of nixed out Jasmine Nix, I didn't even mean to do that as a pun, when she actually left the company, which was a little cold the way it was booked. But this is her saying, like, I'm going to go.
She's still breathing.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
Anyways.
How are you not dead yet? God, bitch. Like, that's... Oh, my goodness. That's really how they did it. Like, we don't even care that somebody attacked you. Like, you're just like, God.
We were... What was it? They stepped over. It's like, we were going to get rid of her anyway.
Yeah.
But, like, Lainey Reed joins the group and immediately is going to prove her value to the group by bringing a title to the group at the same event. Not necessarily the same night, but at the same event, where the other 2 members are also bringing titles to the group. So she's, like, holding up her end of the bargain, sort of the idea being like, oh, the last person that you had before me never brought anything to the group type of idea. And I think that's really cool, because it gives both of them something. And there could be tag team stuff coming out of this. There could be like Ren Sinclair, Kendall Gray versus 2 out of the 3 members of Fatal Influence. Ren Sinclair on NXT this week, hinting that there might be a third. Maybe they are going to do a 3-on-3 at some point. It's the Evolve Championship, but it's doing what Raw and SmackDown should do more of, and it's making you aware of the level below. And Ren Sinclair is a really nice, likable character to do that with. So put somebody else with her. They get some of that, like not giving her the rub necessarily, but get some of that like positive by association stuff. Yeah. So as I say, comparing the men to the women, we're talking about Evolve titles that nobody really gives that much of a shit about. They've tried more with one than they have with the other. Is all I can say about that. Speaking of trying, I don't know what we're doing here. Zarya taking on Fallon Henley with JC Jane and Lainey Reed in her corner because somebody else from Fatal Influence is trying to pick up another title. Zarya Fallon Henley for the vacant women's speed championship, even though the former speed championship is cleared for her match later on.
Yeah.
It's all very strange.
How did she have to relinquish the titles now? What? I mean, what?
Because she was injured.
For 2 weeks. They literally went from that SmackDown. So Tuesday after they made her relinquish it, and then we had 2 weeks, and she's already ready to come back.
I don't know, man.
I feel like they jumped the gun thinking the injury was going to be worse than it was, and it ended up being far less severe. And now they're like, oh shit.
I think they wanted to have a way, because she had both titles. She had the North American and the Speed. I think they wanted to separate those two titles without Sol Ruca having to take a loss, because they're really high on Sol Ruca. And remember, it was Zarya that lost her North American Championship, which we're going to talk about later on.
Yes.
And she decided to give up this one. So, you know, multi-belt, like, let's break that up. But if you want to break up those two titles, you have to have her lose at least once, if not twice. They saw the injury as an opportunity to say, okay, let's start from scratch with this and separate the titles and give the speed title to somebody. I'm sorry, I'm going with Zarya with this. Up until today, really, I was thinking, okay, they're already teasing the dissension between Zarya and Sol Ruca. This will be the thing that does it. Zarya says she's going to get it back for her partner that had to relinquish it. Fatal Influence is doing this whole everybody's going to leave with a belt on next week. I was going to say on Saturday, but it's not a pay-per-view.
Yeah, feels like it, but
well, here's the thing though, as well. Like I'm going to go with Zarya, because Zarya should kill everybody she's in the ring with, because she's that kind of character. They gotta do something with Fallon Henley at some point. I know she's the secondary character in Fatal Influence, but like, she takes up the screen, and I mean it in a positive way, obviously. But she takes up the screen in whatever she's doing, even when she's not the one in the match.
Her match to get here was great, and you know,
sorry, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back on what I just said. Give it to Fallon Henley.
I still feel like Fallon Henley's gonna win, but I want to. Well, I want Zarya. I don't think they're breaking up yet. I think we got time on that still.
I think maybe and see, we're treating week 2 like it's week 1. I'm gonna have to do it the other way around, but I think because they both have matches. Zarya is trying to get back one of Sol Ruca's titles, and Sol Ruca is trying to get back the other Sol Ruca title. I think one's going to affect the other. I just don't know which way around it's going to go. Zarya is cool without a title as well. Like, Zarya as a character, as an entity, is one of those like monster characters.
Yeah.
Well, cunning badass, but also like she's like the monster character. Like, Abyss never needed a title, and I'm not saying Zarya is Abyss, but like, it is what it is. Like, Undertaker was always cool. It was cool when he won a title, but he never needed it. Fallon Henley should have been NXT Women's Champion by now.
Yes.
Now they pushed JC Jane. JC Jane, awesome. Opened up a lot of eyes, changed a lot of minds. Very, very cool. Happy for her. But she should be on the main roster. Fallon Henley should be the NXT champion. But that's not the world we live in right now. I've switched my mind. I'm going to go with Fallon Henley. Did I say Lainey Reed beats Kendall Gray? Because I think she does.
Yeah, I think Kendall Gray is going to lose to Lainey Reed.
Going to get called up to NXT.
Yeah, and I think Fallon...
Hey, she's going to follow in the footsteps of Mariah May, Ricky Starks, Brian Pillman Jr., and finally get called up to NXT. I'm an asshole. It's fine.
So yeah, I think Fallon Henley is going to win. As much as I want Zarya to, I think Fallon Henley. I think John Legacy. I think Lainey Reed. So far is I think we're going to see another Fatal Influence type deal. So we'll see how it goes, but.
Now we come to Kalani Jordan Grace versus Lei Ying Lee. Kalani Jordan versus Jordan Grace versus Lei Ying Lee for the TNA Knockouts Championship. I love the character that Kalani Jordan has become since becoming TNA champion. She's doing the same thing that Trick did. She's becoming a better character with another company's belt.
Yeah, it's not a inaccurate
It's not a
statement.
dig at any. It's not
No.
a dig at any stretch of the imagination. Every time Jordan Grace is in a title situation, I feel like she doesn't need to win it because she should be on the main roster already. So I do think what's going to happen is there's going to be some kind of schmoz. Something bad is going to go down between Kalani Jordan and Lei Ying Lee so that they can continue that feud on TNA programming.
Yeah.
And Jordan Grace is going to move on because realistically, Jordan Grace should pancake both of them.
Yeah. And she sounds so different, but so much deeper. It's like drastically noticeable from even where she was on TNA. I remember when she was like lashing out against Jim Cornette because that's when she had a lot of the weight on her still, and he was calling her a butterface, and she got really offended by it and went after him. And I heard one of those on a short the other day, and I'm like, oh, because if you listen to her voice then to now, I mean, it's like Lurch kind of. It's a crazy difference, drastic.
Thing about Jordan Grace, right, is
she looks great.
She's not a great promo.
No.
But I also don't want to hear her talk. Like, even if she was a good promo, I don't want to hear her talk. Just come in and wreck people.
You didn't want to hear Goldberg talk. Who's next? Get in, get out. That's all she needs to do. Who wants to get their ass beat?
Have her come in and do the X-Men thing every now and then. I'm the fucking juggernaut, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then she kills somebody. Like, Chelsea Green has the US championship back, right? We're already doing the what's his name? Ilya Dragunov Open Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so say like in a fictional world on SmackDown, Ilya Dragunov just finishes another Open Challenge, smacks the shit out of the Miz or something like that. Runs into Chelsea Green in the back. He's like, you're not the only US champion. Anybody can do an Open Challenge. And then Jordan Grace comes out, kills her. There's her main roster debut.
Yeah.
She's a champion already. Like,
how do you beat that?
Like, I want to say, like, everybody goes to NXT for something.
Yes.
Like, even people that have been everywhere have said, yeah, I still gained a little bit from this or that or whatever. Like Stephanie talked about getting a chance to like work on her promos, work on her English and stuff like that. People that have been
wrestling,
people that have been on
people that
have been on the indies talk about like like something simple like the fact that they have like social media courses.
Yeah, how to handle your taxes and how to, they do a lot of those courses on like life stuff for them, which is cool.
But even something as simple as like people that have like killed it on the indies forever and are amazing wrestlers that have never had somebody sit with them for 5 minutes. And it's like, I know you know what the hard camera is, but like, have you thought about this or leaning this when you do this and something like that? Anybody you meet, like, this is not a wrestling, this is anything in life. Like, you can be an expert in something. Never, ever, ever walk around thinking that there's not a single person on the planet that can tell you something new.
Exactly.
So whenever they go, and yes, there's people that don't need to go to NXT because they've done WWE-esque television before, right? But 9 times out of 10, you'll get something. Because if you're an expert and you're working with new people have new ideas.
Yes.
Now, that being said, Jordan Grace, I was really excited to have an NXT because I thought it was going to like bolster them to like a little bit of a next level. That really hasn't happened. The attendance at NXT isn't great. I'll be the first one to say it for their special shows and whatnot. They're going to smaller venues. I wish they were in arenas. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace, the more she's there in NXT, the more I don't think she belongs in NXT. And that's totally no slight on her. I think she needs to be somewhere bigger.
That and because she's more sports entertainment than she is wrestling, and she doesn't need to learn any of this. Like, she doesn't feel like she's got more to gain from NXT. Yeah. I feel like because she already was on a main roster show. TNA is not developmental, so people forget.
I would imagine though, like on the other side of the coin, like if you're not there to gain something from NXT, maybe NXT is gaining something from you. I would imagine somebody like a Zarya, somebody like a Lash Legend, like the big powerhouse wrestlers, could learn a lot from Jordan Grace.
Oh, certainly.
Now, there's nothing to say that she can't provide that help to them while having her own career on the main roster.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. CM Punk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we want to make all kinds of scandals about CM Punk because we don't have lives and we don't know what grass feels like. It's fine. I'm saying Kalani retains something. It's hard to say somebody cheats in a triple threat because there's no disqualification, but something underhanded happens between her and Lei Ying Lee. They can continue that on Impact, or whatever that next step is, and Jordan Grace can move on to something else.
Yeah, Hopefully the main
I wouldn't,
roster.
I wouldn't mind Jordan Grace versus Tatum Paxley before she leaves.
No, certainly not. But
monster versus crazy, it's fine.
But yeah, Kalani retains here. She's holding on to that for a little while longer. She's not going to lose it on a weekly Tuesday show.
She came out, I will say, she came out last week on NXT and laid an egg in the ring with that promo.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of brutal.
That was bad.
I'm not going to lie.
That was brutal.
Not going to lie.
Through.
Not going to say that she's perfect.
Meanwhile, Ricky Saints cuts the best promo of his life. You know what I mean? Like the guy's dichotomy between like perfection and utter zero shit, you know?
And it's so funny how fast people have turned on Ricky Saints. Gee, I wonder why. Anyways, moving swiftly on. Blake Monroe versus Sol Ruca for the belt that Sol Ruca technically never lost. North American Championship. We're going back to week 1 now.
I was going to say, you said we're going back, but I didn't know we were going back 7 days. That's a lot. A lot of time travel. My lawyer bills are going to be expensive.
Oh, my God. I don't know what they do here.
Blake Monroe is the champ. Sol Ruca wants the belt, but I don't want to take it away from Blake. And I really, really, really liked the dual identity. Inside is the evil side of her. People are like, oh, that's just Toni Storm's gimmick. I'm like, that's not what Toni Storm is at all. Toni thinks she's a 1940s Hollywood diva icon. You know,
see, here's the thing.
Like a Judy Garland type.
I think there's a criticism to have, but it's a criticism that I don't care about.
This is more the Fiend.
Exactly. No, it's separate, different from the things that silly people are saying online.
Okay.
There is a criticism to have of that segment, right? Because Blake Monroe is already a heel. So she doesn't need to sit with her bad side and get in touch with her bad side if she's already heel. Now, that being said, I don't care because it was cool. And she's going to do some fucked up shit to Sol Ruca next week. I think everybody gets served by Blake Monroe retaining because Sol Ruca, for as over as she is and how much they were pushing her before the mild setback that she had, this is why I'm saying they wanted a way for her to lose both belts without actually having to take a pin.
Yeah.
Because you got to put Sol Ruca in that main time. Now that all the big, hate to say it like this, but the big names have gone up.
Yeah.
Roxanne has gone up. Stephanie's gone up. Julia's gone up. Sol Ruca was like the personification of your mid card while they were here.
Yeah.
And with the exception of Jordan Grace, like she has to be up into that next tier because JC Jane's got to be getting ready to go up.
Yeah. They called up Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan and who else did they call up? Shotzi. They called up a lot of people. Called them up and said, you're fired.
The ones that were called up to OnlyFans?
Yeah. Oh,
hey, you know what? We've had this discussion. If you want to go do the OnlyFans thing and grab the bag, have at it. I'm not going to hate on it.
The only thing I hate is if you're not going to go nude on it and you expect people to pay for it. Come on, you know what you're doing.
Fair.
You got to show that skin. Mr. Skin's not going to be happy. I think Blake retains, as you said. There's more practicality to it.
Don't go upsetting people. They might show up at an AEW show and walk out.
Ooh, hey.
I'm going to say it, and this will surprise absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Not Tatum Paxley, Tegan Knox, what's her name? Nixon Newell, and her partner. Good for them. They might not get another gig after this. They saw something that was offered up in front of them, and they said no, thank you, and they walked away, and they set all the AEW fans' heads on fire.
Yeah,
by looking at an offered deal and saying no, thank you. And they even said congratulations to the people that took those 2 spots on their way out.
Yeah.
They did nothing wrong. They don't owe them anything because unlike Sasha Banks and Bayley, they don't work for the company.
They weren't the champions.
They weren't the champions. They weren't
refusing to do business. Exactly.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a 3-minute match. The whole segment was 3 minutes. The match was 1 minute and 50 seconds.
This is the thing. And the thing about it is now is all the AEW media team, i.e. the wrestlers that work for ROH that don't want to be on ROH anymore. Is like, well, some of us will be glad for 3 or 4 minutes. Fine. Yeah. You can be glad for 3 or 4 minutes. What's her name? Hyan and Wuhan or whatever the fuck they were that went and took the places. I don't know the names because I don't care. It's
Maya World and Your
Maya
World
and Hyan.
Your World.
Anyways, and you know what? One set of partners turned it down. the other two stepped up and took it. Everybody wins, but we can't have that.
No, see, I feel like it's a tricky situation, but if it was me, I would have stayed. I would have done the match, but afterwards I would have said, if you expect to book us further, this can't be a thing. I showed you tonight that I'm loyal, but we need to, look out for ourselves and for future. Like,
but I don't think they need to be loyal though in this case, because they're not okay. Like, they're not okay. Wrestlers are all supposed to be like independent contractors anyway. That's the punchline of the century. But like, they don't work for the company. They don't have a contract for the company. They were brought in to be jobbers.
Yes.
They said, hey, we don't care if we lose. Let's just not do it in 2 minutes, right? It's the same as like Austin saying, oh, I don't care about losing to Brock. I just don't think we should do it on TV. I think that's worthy of pay-per-view.
Yeah, build
that's
it
not
up
the
at
same.
Least. Not
that's
advertised.
not the same as saying, oh, I don't want to lose to Brock. Of course, Austin was going to lose to Brock. And of course, these two were going to lose to whoever they were supposed to face.
TJ, Anna Jay and Ty
But
Malaconte.
this whole like,
it just fucks them for their future, because she was already complaining online and to others that she's not getting bookings. So now
I get that.
No one's going to want to hire you. Yes, you have some interest. You might get some like interaction on Twitch or something, but you're not going to get bookings now, because this is going to show people like, hey, this doesn't work for me, brother. You're out for yourself. Every
wrestler
I
is
guess
out
if they
for
were
themselves,
promised
though.
to win the tag titles kind of thing, and then they get there and they had a 30-minute match that was cut down to a minute, and now but like, I guess all of this was known ahead of time, pre-agreed upon, and they were hoping to get more out of it. So I get them.
I think they were in discussion. Like, from what I've heard,
Yeah.
I think that there was some discussion about it. Like, hey, like, we don't mind losing, but these people that you're gonna put over us, what are they gonna get out of beating us in 2 minutes? Like it was one of those like nitpicky, like, can we go from 3 to 5 or something like that? And I mean, if you're a lady on the roster I shouldn't even say on the roster, but if you're a lady on an AEW show, like, you're not going to get any minutes. Like, it is what it is. There's a reason friggin' one person smoked the PWI list, because she was booked to win enough titles to win an award.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I understand the wrestlers being like, hey, I would have taken the 3 minutes. Like, if I could have taken their 3 minutes and gone on TV, I promote my YouTube and let's go, like, I would take it too. So they knowingly not having any other work lined up, not getting bookings. I think that, like, you're betting on yourself to not get a 3-minute job match. Fine. But you're not betting on yourself then, because this is stifling your career, because now any opportunity you could have had.
That's fine though, because the people that are standing, the people that are standing up, the people that are standing up for AEW, because that's what they do. They don't care about what these two are doing after this match. They're not saying, oh, we should give you this advice because it's going to be better for your career. They can't fathom the fact that somebody said no to the fake utopia that is AEW.
Oh yes, that is a totally. See, I'm being reasonable in my arguments. I can't. I should apologize. I'm not being a sicko.
even if somebody, like, even if you want to take it from the point of, oh, if you turn this down, other people are going to hear about it. It might have repercussions later on down the line. If the person says, yeah, I understand that, I see what you're offering me, I'm going to pass, thank you very much, all the more happy for the next two that are going to come in and take our place, dust our hands, and everybody calls it a night. You might think what they're doing is crazy, but I don't think they did anything wrong, is what my point is.
Yeah, no,
I don't necessarily think it's going to help them in the long run. I don't think it's going to do tremendous things for them next time they go to get booked for like XYZ wrestling.
Yeah.
But that's not what the mob is going for. You should be happy that the great AEW even looked at you. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's I see, that's the point I agree with. And anyone saying like, how dare you say no to Tony? And then the girls are like, there's no heat. And then the AEW side is like, yes, there is. You never know for sure. But long and short of it, I genuinely feel like they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't leave them high and dry with no replacements and the booking got screwed, because then it would be a problem. They were told they could leave. They left and they were replaced. Easy as that. The only thing I'm saying is that it just wasn't wise, because now it really stunts any type of growth they could have had, not just off of this, but piggybacking going forward. That's my complaint. Like, you fucked your career that you were already openly complaining about.
But that's that's a gamble that only you can decide you're going to make.
Exactly. It's a consequence to this action.
If you can look at that eyes wide open and say, yeah, okay, this might screw us over, it might not, but this is what feels right today.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to the OnlyFans argument, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I think she has an OnlyFans as well. It's fine, don't worry about it.
Yes.
But like, okay, you're gonna
one.
leave wrestling and try this instead, and you're gonna leave wrestling behind. You're gonna do the Mandy Rose thing of like, I make so much more money here than when I was wrestling. I'll tell all the other girls to do the same thing. Okay, cool. So a couple of other people, flip the bird to AEW, flip the bird to WWE, and think they're going to make millions on OnlyFans, and then they end up making $5. Maybe it wasn't the smartest move, but they, what's the phrase? They bet on themselves. I think there's a big difference between, okay, go ahead and do that. I don't think it's bright, but it's your decision, and telling them that they're wrong for their decision. I don't think that's what you're doing, but I think that's what a lot of people are happening. And I think a lot of people are only doing it because of the 3 initials that they walked away from.
Yeah,
and that's bullshit.
Exactly. Because if they walked away from WWE, they'd be like, "Oh, see, WWE is so evil. They only gave them 3 minutes. How dare they?" And then the sentiment
if they walked away from WWE, it would be like 3 snaps and a "you go, girl."
That's what I'm saying. People would be like, "Oh, good, initials. You went ahead and you stood up for yourself." Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get by. But like you said, it goes for AEW, and they're like, "Oh, how dare you? You look a gift horse in the mouth. How dare you go ahead and say no to the benefactor that's so we lent you a helping hand because you said you were getting no bookings. We did this for you, and you go ahead and what?
We're so magnanimous. Fuck off. Like, that's the part that bugs me.
The
right?
virtual signaling is
the people that were comparing it to the Sasha Bailey thing, right? And it's like, okay, not so much Bailey, because Bailey's had a lot of ups and downs in her WWE run, but you cannot put them in the same category. They walked out after being champions at WrestleMania. They didn't walk out because they were trying to say, hey, can we have 5 minutes instead of 3?
Yeah.
And we're not even on the payroll. You know what I mean? Like, it's so,
weren't they losing the belts or something, and that was the problem?
Because how dare we lose a match? But it's so disgustingly
I disingenuous. Why they were so
upset
either. It was what, WrestleMania 37, I think, or no, 36.
That was disgustingly disingenuous when they make the comparison. Oh, but you went for Sasha Banks. Yeah, because Sasha Banks is a cunt. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving back on to the business at hand. Blake Monroe keeps the title. Sol Ruca eventually loses upwards and gets herself into that what's the name I'm thinking of? Tatum Paxley,
yes,
Izzy Dame,
Culling,
JC Jane, Culling, Fatal Influence main event scene.
Yes.
Along with your Jada Parkers, your Lola Vices, and your Jordan Graces. Give me a number 1 contendership match between Sol Ruca and Jordan Grace for who gets to face the winner of JC Jane and Tatum Paxley. I'll watch the fuck out of that.
Absolutely.
Sol Ruca. The acrobatic style of Sol Ruca and the powerhouse style of Jordan Grace, give me that match. Because either it'll be awesome or it'll be a shit show, and either way I'll be entertained. Are you not entertained? All right, so now, JC Jane. I'm an asshole, it's fine. Cedric can fuck off. Tries to three-peat for her group at this particular event. By this point, we're fighting for the big title first. What the fuck are we doing here? I've got the days mixed up again. But does she set the ball rolling for her group winning back this title?
I know, because it's a last chance match too. So if she doesn't get it here, if
you lose this one, I'm not going to give you another one. I'm super serious.
Yeah. And then
I fucking love Tatum Paxley. I don't care.
But see, that's awesome. I like how, simple Jack she is. That's what's glorious about it, because she's just pure fun. So,
and she's a smoke show.
Absolutely. But I can't picture her losing right already.
I can't either. The thing is, I can't picture JC Jane winning, only because winning that title cements her in NXT, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, JC Jane should be on the main roster. I don't think I would do Fallon Henley or Lainey Reed going up to the main roster right away, other than if they took the whole faction up.
Yeah, they would have to take him up in a 3 to get it.
Like if Damage Control was still a bigger faction, Fatal Influence versus Damage Control would be a lot of fun.
Yes, a good starting.
Or even
point.
if Laney Reed stays behind and JC Jane and Fallon Henley go up and take on the Kabuki Warriors, before somebody accuses me of being offensive, that could be a really good match.
Well, no.
I do still love the dynamic of JC Jane, the heel, with the heel group, Tatum Paxley, the babyface, within another heel group, because everybody on the outside is an asshole.
Because the other side is brainwashed.
Because Tatum Paxley technically has the numbers advantage, but JC Jane has the numbers advantage as far as people that can actually get involved, because they don't do like female male violence and whatever. It's a dynamic that I think the NXT writers are having a lot of fun with, and I don't think it's getting the credit it deserves in that regard.
Certainly not.
But yeah, I want to say Tatum Paxley wins. Actually, now that I've thought of it, now that I'm bringing myself back around again,
dun.
This could be the way you get JC Jane to the main roster. If JC Jane loses and on week 2, the other two both win titles, like Fallon Henley gets the Speed title, Laney Reed gets the Evolve title, and they look at JC Jane, who's supposed to be their leader, and now she's the only one with gold. Yeah. Do they turn on her? Do they do a Bullet Club and say, we don't need a leader anymore? And
or
they
do
turn
they get
on
her a title? Yeah, kind of idea. Makes you wonder.
They clack her with the titles.
Yeah.
Do a con belto. Is that a thing?
It is.
Everything's
now.
Something.
Hell yeah.
Everything is something. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tatum.
I'm gonna go with Tatum as well. But
totally destroying the whole Fatal Influence.
But I can still see the other two. Thing. The other two probably won't win either, like I said. But just for the hell of it,
I think Fallon. I think Fallon is a solid shot.
Yeah,
because Fallon Henley
Zarya, but
Fallon Henley's being overdue for a while.
I think Zarya is going to get the Speed title, and Ruka's not going to get the NX title. So without that North American Extreme title, she's going to go ahead and kind of snap a little bit and be like, oh, well, you have my Speed title. And she's going to be like, yeah, but I want it. And then they could fight over that, maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but yeah.
There's certain ways they can go. I'm not even certain they'll break up, but I do feel like Tatum has to win this. So
yeah. I really like Tatum. I'm not going to lie.
Has she even defended the belt? Yeah, she only fought at Halloween Havoc.
She did a defense against somebody. It was Lola Vice.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
She remember she did the Halloween spin the wheel, make a deal like a week later.
Yes.
And she's like, hey, we didn't have a wheel, but I've got a wheel tonight.
Yes.
There's like 5 names on it. when the women's roster in NXT could fill like 10 wheels at this point. Because you got to figure, if it's the women's division on NXT, that's the women's division on NXT, Evolve, Go Fuck Yourself, TNA.
Yep.
Are there any women in Bloodsport? Probably.
We count AEW
AAA,
just to count them. Like, it's a mess.
AAA, Lady Flamer, and all them down there.
Yes, Super Beach and Lady Flamer and DJ Mix-a-Box, all of them.
So now what we're left with is 2 tag team matches that I'm equally excited about.
Yes.
2 tag team matches that are going to be stupidly fun and with maybe predictable results, but that's okay. Dark State. One of
Dion
Lennox, Osiris Griffin, Cutler James, or Saquon Sugars, because I think they're freebirding the titles.
Yeah.
If I'm not, somebody correct me down in the box below. Finally, taking on the team of Javon Evans, Leon Slater. History in the sense of one team consisting of an NXT star and a TNA star. If they become champions, it's the first dual branded tag team championship team. It's a lot of fun. I'm very, 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 very much predicting that we're going to see the Hardys to come out and take out whichever ones are not the legal competitors so that these guys can have a 2-on-2 match. Leon Slater is heavily respectful of the Hardys, going back to the stories that they've told in TNA. Javon Evans, you see his style, you know he grew up watching the Hardys as well. I think it only makes sense. The Dark State are the ones that took the NXT titles back off of the Hardys, so there's that as well.
I mean, it's one thing for them to hot potato it so quick, but
yeah, but you know what?
Dark State doesn't really need the belts.
They don't. And Javon Evans, Leon Slater is something that kind of it's the only thing in NXT, because NXT falls under a lot of scrutiny because people are allergic to fun. But it's facts, man. People that don't like NXT don't like fun.
They are the new Fraxium, basically,
It's absolutely true. And it's also one of the things of even the people that shit on NXT, I haven't heard anybody say a bad thing about the bringing together of Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Now, the segment was a little silly, but...
But you know what it is? It's silly with the energy of those guys. And I know there's
his
a lot...
plan was terrible. Come on.
Oh, that's fine. I don't
get out here, Leon. Get out here. Like, he gave them time to attack it. They should have just attacked him then while he was telling them to get out there. But you laugh because it's wrestling. There's invisible force fields, and people have to wait their turn.
But you know what it is though as well, and it's so often it's used as a bad thing. Oh, I hate seeing wrestlers that are just happy to be there because they don't feel driven. And it's like, okay, Javon Evans and Leon Slater are happy to be there. Leon Slater is having the best fucking year of his life.
Oh my God.
Like never mind the NXT stuff. Beat Moose for the X Division Championship. Got the personal hat tip from the returning after like 10 years AJ Styles. Got to win a title at their biggest night of the year. Has gotten to be heavily involved with this crossover with NXT. Was probably one of the most hyped matches at Bound for Glory between him and Javon Evans. He's having a great year. Everybody loves Javon, and the love that Leon Slater gets from the TNA audience and the love that Javon Evans gets from the NXT audience is so similar.
Javon in the Rumble, come on, you remember?
Of
all
course,
that shit was. He keeps
Leon
getting
Slater
these great reactions.
Leon Slater in the Rumble would be fun to see. Leon Slater somehow popping up for like Money in the Bank would be interesting as well. Because look at all the like Ultimate X type stuff, right?
Yeah.
But these two guys, especially with the working relationship with NXT and TNA, you couldn't not put these guys together.
Yeah, you really had to keep them.
They're going to win. They're going to win, and it's going to be awesome. And if they don't, it's going to be because Dark State beats them 2-on-4, like they did with the Hardys. And then the Hardys
I wonder if they have
afterwards.
To bring the Hardys in to help them eventually get the titles, like as backup, or maybe the Hardys show up.
I think they make the first announcements, and the Hardy Boys come out to clear the field and make sure that they have a fair match from the get-go. But that's me fantasy booking. But it would only make sense. The Hardys are connected to these guys. The Hardys are the most recent former NXT tag champions because of the 4-on-2 actions of Dark State.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit of revenge. They've got a little bit of a help for their buddies type of thing. And they've got a little bit of a, we know what these guys are like. We're not going to let this happen.
All right, I'm going to go on a limb and say Dark State retains here.
Oh. No.
Because I think them getting the titles is such a given that it's not going to happen for some reason. NXT does that every now and again with like they get you hype for something and that hero doesn't get it. I think they're gonna. Yeah, but they're gonna make him keep going for it. They're gonna get screwed and build to something.
But the thing about that is they've been playing a lot, and this is where I think we collectively give NXT a lot of leeway.
Yes,
because it's the landing pad for everything. It's where they try all the new ideas. It's where all the working relationships and everybody's coming from everywhere. And all of a sudden, holy fuck, there's an iguana. Jake, he's got an iguana.
He's got an iguana.
But there's so many. They've done so many. I mean, WWE in general have done so many. This is so obvious. So we'll pull it back and do it next month, or we'll pull it back and do it at a bigger show. They've done that so many times now that it's
this year.
Yeah, that it's eye rolling. It's not having the, oh darn, they were so close, they'll get it next time. It's like, okay, so you're making me wait a month. Like,
yeah, you time gated my fun.
I know what it's supposed to do as a storytelling trope, but they've done it too much now. So it no longer sticks out as an interesting story. It sticks out as okay, this is what we do now. Sometimes just go with the hot hand. And that goes, we've said it about all companies.
Yes.
The one that worked was making us wait a year for Cody. It worked. Finished the story was amazing. Everybody came in, the Avengers assembled and all that kind of thing. But I mean, a lot of people say TNA waited too long to put it on Joe. A lot of people say TNA waited too long to put it on Santana. Now, Santana's carrying it because he's a fucking star. But like,
I don't feel like they waited too long for him. For Joe Hendry, yeah, they kept him failing for a while.
No, well, they had him sort of come over into NXT because it was also the story of bringing it back to TNA from NXT. They had him like mix it up with Trick on NXT. They had some confrontations on NXT shows, and then they had some smack talking on TNA. Like, they teased, maybe they didn't make you wait too long, but they teased it too much for when they plan to do it. Obviously, Bound for Glory is where you do it.
He had the match with Nick Namath and Hendry. You know what I mean? Who else did he go for the title against at one point? Trick. He went against Namath.
I think he went against. Did he go against Alexander as well before Alexander left?
I don't.
Or am I got my time frame wrong?
Maybe.
Remember when Josh Alexander was on TV? Anyways, moving swiftly on. Speaking of fun, speaking of everybody's going to hate it because they hate fun, Team the Greatest North Americans, defending the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship. Fucking love these guys, I swear to God. Take it on Joe Hendry and Thea Hale. AAA. The North
Say
American
his name, they appear.
The collectively they are the NXT North American WWE Women's United States, but also AAA tag team mixed. I like the fact that the mixed tag titles, and I knew this before because I saw when Sammy and Tay had them. The fact that the mixed tag titles are on 2 different color straps is a really nice touch. Now I didn't know anything about AAA. Yeah. I didn't know anything about AAA before they did the thing. It's fine. I'm the one that'll put my hands up and admit it, but I do think that's a really nice touch. We talk a lot about belt design, and if it's going to be mixed tag titles, make them mixed belts. I don't know. Joe Hendry and Thea Hale are the perfect team to be heartbroken when they don't win, and I don't think they're going to win here.
I don't think so either. Thank you.
Ethan Page and I love Joe Hendry and I love Thea Hale, and I think the crowd loves Thea Hale and everybody loves Joe Hendry. They don't lose anything by losing this match, which is that all-important Teflon element. They have such a good unit here right now with Ethan Page and Chelsea Green.
Pause.
Yeah. Ethan Page got a big unit. Yeah. Even you know what I love though?
Chelsea got cream pied.
Yeah, the song that Joe Hendry did.
Oh, so good.
And have you seen the back-to-back reactions though on Twitter?
A few of them,
he put the video out, Chelsea Green in capital letters. I'm calling my lawyer. This is unacceptable.
Yep.
And then Matt Cardona underneath. I hate how much I laughed at this.
Oh yeah, I know. He knocked it out of the park with that cover though. What a great parody.
It's so good though. It's so good. The other thing, I forgot to mention this before, but I'll mention it now. The False Count Anywhere match with Trick and Ricky, we believe that Trick's going up. Like, that's his swan song. He's on his way out the door. Obafemi came back at the end, so that'll be something at some point for us to talk about another day. Everybody is, after the interaction between Trick and Kalani, because they were both TNA champions, they both became better characters as TNA champions.
Yes.
Everybody is saying that they're going to put Trick Mello Gang back together, which is fine. A couple people just today I saw on socials, and I don't really know where the idea came from. Trick and Mello with Kalani, as a 3-person unit. I wouldn't have thought of it, but I like it. I think them as a 3-person unit works. And I'm not saying that to make her a valet. I'm not saying like to put her in the Zelina spot, but I think those 3 as a unit could be something. But yeah, Trick's going up. Trick got his head busted on the guardrail in the False Count Anywhere match, and then Obafemi came out before everything got cut off.
Yeah.
So I guess Obafemi's not getting called up? ? I was for sure that one of the surprise entrants in the John Cena tournament was going to be Obafemi. Obafemi versus John Cena would be hilarious.
I'm still just shocked, and then they cut it off. Right, dun. Just ends.
It's
They need a run over.
Ethan Page, Chelsea Green. It has to be the main event, right? It's the most entertaining match on this card, and that's not a dig at anybody else. We're gonna have a lot of fun with a lot of these other matches. I mean, night 2, the Gold Rush Collision Edition.
Yes,
it's fine. Don't worry about it. There's a reason we're predicting it all at once, because previewing just week 2 next week would be a shrug emoji. Ethan and Chelsea retain. Joe Hendry and Thea Hale, like, maybe get them after the match is over, more pies, something.
Yeah,
waving your hand. Thea Hale in her mini Joe Hendry get up is kind of funny. But yeah, like it's funny because it's the one I'm looking most forward to, and it's the one I have the least to say. It's going to be fucking fun. Look at the people involved.
Yeah, no doubt. That's kind of the thing. It's they're gonna make it exceptional, and they're not going to win. But
here's
that's
one.
all there is to it.
If Fallon Henley picks up the no, that's not the one we're talking about. Never mind. Hold on a second. Wrong match. Looking at the wrong match. We've predicted that Blake Monroe will beat Sol Ruca, right?
Yes.
Thea Hale as a feel-good, plucky underdog challenger to Blake Monroe has a lot of potential.
Yeah. I mean, 19 years ago today in 2006, Ethan Page made his debut in PWA.
Yep. Chelsea Green immediately responded, "So how old are you now?"
Yeah, and Thea Hale says, "I was 3. Congrats, Ethan, you're old." So.
Got him.
King.
It's like, there's a video that I saw, and it was this guy being a dickhead, and there was girls basically like streaming him like out the window because they were driving along, and he was like yelling at them from the other car. And he's like, "Oh, you don't know how to drive, and you cut me off, and you're not supposed to be in my lane, and you're a shitty driver, and blah blah blah." And the girl behind the camera was like, "Yeah, but you're bald though."
Oh god,
it's so good. Anyways, I'm gonna write it down one more time. Where did we start here? Laney Reed takes the title from Kendall Gray.
Yeah, it seems to think so.
You and I disagree on the men's Evolve title, which I know nothing about. I'm going with Jackson Drake. You're going with Sean Legacy.
Yes.
Kalani Jordan retains against Jordan Grace and Lei Ying Lee.
Yeah.
Fallon Henley takes the Speed Championship.
I'm still gonna say Zarya.
You're gonna say Zarya, all right.
Damn it. No, I'll go with Fallon Henley. All right. Yeah, because I agreed before, but I went back and forth on it. Yeah.
I got Javon Evans, Leon Slater. You've got Dark State, apparently.
Yes, the retain, not the Ian New.
I got my idea for better Dark State, by the way. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Better Dark State, Dijak, Corbin, Briggs, and Jasper.
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley retains against JC Jane.
Si, senor.
Blake Monroe defends against Sol Ruca.
Yes.
Ethan Page and Chelsea Green continue to be the 2 best North Americans.
Yes.
And look at that. We got done in a relatively decent amount of time. Jake, why don't you take your time in telling people where to find you?
You can find me on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco, where Jake Countdown ended. Over there, we cover live reviews for NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and sometimes AEW as well. We're doing Blood and Guts coverage tonight, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. You also find me on Twitter, on Rumble, at Countdown Ended, as well as on Instagram. And you can find us on TikTok at Jake.CountdownEnded. Look us up on Spotify using the hashtag Into Somewhere. And thank you so much, my good man.
Are you allowed to take your talk this week?
We went live the other day. I think we're suspended again, though. It's like every 7 days we got to wait. So,
damn it.
Right.
And you guys know where to find me, or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. We've talked about a lot of shit, but most of it has been Gold Rush. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, me, Super Sexy Jake, tagging out. Bye, guys.
Gold Rush.